Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As many of you might know, Dollightful is hosting for the very first time a collab with everyone who wants to participate. At first I felt like I couldn't find a proper concept for the collab, even though I was debating between a water sprite character and a guardian of a tropical forest. However, I really wanted to try making corals. In the worst, or best, scenario, I would have turned Stitch into a doll. Nevertheless, I found an interesting concept to go with. For this collab, I chose Lagoona Blue from 13 Wishes. I was inspired by Dollightful and Moonlight Jewel to try customizing such doll, even if this is my third Lagoona so far this year. Her skin has such a bright blue color. In the beginning I was a bit skeptic to repaint her, but now I really like her. I started by sketching her eyes with a blue pencil and blushing her face with blue and purple pastels and blue shimmer. I knew that I would make her eyes and lips purple, and I also knew anyway that I didn't want to use any black on her. So basically my darkest colors turned out to be ultramarine and royal purple. Okay, maybe her eyebrows turned a bit too thin. I have to admit the fact that giving her freckles was a spontaneous idea, but I was so much in love with the aspect. I give her freckles on her shoulders as well. Next, I decided to give her some fins made out of fairy film. Who says that you can make only wings with it? Another ambitious thing was creating the shells and the corals. I'm not personally a great sculptor, even though I had sculpting classes back in high school. However, I came across this mold at a Hobby Lobby and I knew that it would be perfect for my tropical doll. I don't really know why some people are afraid of using resin, because I really like doing resin crafts, especially because I had to use bright colors for this project. I admit that I had few trials and errors with this thing because after unmolding the first attempt, some of them turned a bit opaque, to say like so. The thing is that if you cover the front part with all sorts of glitter or chunky glitter, you won't be able to see the tiny stars I placed in the middle of it. So to give my shell some colors, because I didn't want them fully transparent, I placed the glitter in the very end, in their back. After that, I glued them straight to her body, covering the chest area first. On a normal basis, I would have chosen resin for the gluing part, but I was running out of resin at that time, so I went for my hot glue gun. I admit that this is risky because you can melt the plastic with it, so I was careful with that. On the other hand, I used also hot glue gun to create a type of corals as well. I just put a little bit of hot glue on the area where I wanted to see some corals, and after that I spread colorful beads. You have to work really fast because the glue dries in few seconds. It doesn't matter how many beads fall over, it matters how many beads remain attached. And thus you create such a beautiful mess on your working table. Initially I thought that I would glue shells and beads only on her chest area, but I spread also on her back and legs. She's supposed to be a water sprite, so I thought that she would have more corals on her legs as well. You know, she lives most of her life underwater, so it makes sense. Next, one of the most challenging things was to choose the proper color for her hair. Having such a bright blue skin, it was quite difficult to go with a certain color. I didn't want blue because I wanted her to be more colorful in essence. I always had in mind a combination of pink and purple, but my yarn colors were a bit too pastel-like. So after a while I came across this nylon hair that belonged once to Kiyomi, and I knew this was a perfect fit for my tropical doll. Kiyomi's hair was in a good condition, so I decided to keep it since last year. I should save hair more often. After gluing all her wefts, I decided to style her hair a little bit with more beads as corals and the remaining shells. In my early concept she was supposed to have a crown made out of crystals, but to be honest I expected to see the crystals more purple. For her outfit, I decided to go for a beach skirt. Initially, I wanted to make a different type of skirt with ruffles in the back, but I saw so many people doing this thing and I thought I have to come with something different. My friend Dolumiere suggested me to try this kind of skirt, and I thank you so much, Elisa. The simple aesthetic of the skirt combined with the shells and beads work perfectly. The last but not the least, I added some pearls attached to a thread around her head and crystals. It turned out to be a peculiar crown. I saw also Anastasia custom using this in a doll's hairstyle in one of her videos, so I was like, I should try it also one day. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoy it. You can subscribe to my channel for more content. I have original concepts for dolls as well as characters from TV shows. This doll is looking for a new lovely home. If you're interested to adopt her, you can send me a private message on Instagram or Etsy. Until then, see you in my next video. Bye!